Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in, anybody that does. Chris Wood here, October 17th, 2022. Not really too sure what I'm going to be doing, but I just thought I would come on and for a couple minutes and say hello to everybody, and also to say thank you to my subscribers who I've gotten lately. I thank you, I appreciate you. I want you to know that. First off, I gotta get something off my chest, and I gotta say congratulations to O.P.P, Ontario Provincial Police, Spencer Mills, Staff Sergeants, ex-Chief, Shannon CORK, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas, STACEY, and SHELLEY HAFFNER here, Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police. To Dr. Tatiana V, to Dr. Joy Hadley, to Dr. Barton, to Dr. Waldron, to Dr. Pritchard, to Dr. McGregor, to Triage Nurse Terry, to Triage Nurse Tanya, to Triage Nurse David, and to Paladin Security. To Javen Allstein, to Blair Hardy, to Tyler Lake, to William Bill Wooldridge, to Ray, to Sam, and everybody else involved over the course of 3 years using remote narrow monitoring on me, helping injure me, helping torture me, helping deform me, helping mutilate me, excuse me, and all being done through what is called remote narrow monitoring. Police and military tech in use since the 60s, not many are aware of. Microchip, nanomicrochip implant that destroys a person's central nervous system on them. My whole right side is completely and totally pretty much gone. I feel nothing, no stimulation in my head anymore in any way, shape, or form. Completely gone. I put headphones in, doesn't matter. I blare music, doesn't matter. No stimulation. It's like I have no brain whatsoever, and that's no pun intended. That's from it being injured and burned out of my head constantly over 3 years from radiation and EMFs on me through this remote neuromonitoring. I am the victim of identity theft. I'm the victim of human trafficking, sex assault, kidnapping, false arrest to deflect crimes against me through from O.P.P, one's name, and the doctors, one's name. They cover up the crimes and are co-committers. Lies, time buying, arrest refusals except for on me to deflect the crimes, medical blacklisting, medical treatment refusals for 3 years. I've never even had as much as a stethoscope put on me at Lennox and Addington Hospital. So obviously they are involved with committing very serious crimes. Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, the ones named, are guilty of having William Wooldridge and Blair Hardy stalk my mother, use remote neuromonitoring on her. As a result, caused with the EMFs and radiation, it caused cancer, it caused tumors, it caused her death, and it was done with intent. Revenge, retaliation against me. Conveniently, William Bill Wooldridge, untouchable. Everybody named untouchable, unarrestable. They even have a justice of the peace here to make accusations against victims, stating that they're high on marijuana for being sodomized. I don't think so. My skull has been seriously deformed. My identity is gone. I am the end of my bloodline. So, congratulations. Right now, I am being broadcasted through actually by Billy Wooldridge and Jabin Allstein. And there's also another guy here in town named Mike. He's homeless. He lives in a trailer or a tent, probably up around the arena here in town on Thomas Street. So, my identity theft is done. So congratulations. This is how Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police human traffic. This is how they frame, and this is how they murder. I have illegal prisoner tracking on me from Billy Wooldridge or Blair Hardy. I have the remote narrow monitoring use on me. They are criminalizing their victims, using their badges, using false guise of law, lies to be above suspicion of their crimes, and having the doctors here and other cops co-commit with INFORM to get away with it. After 3 years, I'm pretty much being turned into somebody. This morning, I pretty much look like Jabin Allstein, a piece of shit junkie who is a co-offender, a drug trafficker, and a human trafficker, a sex slave trafficker with him for O.P.P, along with Tyler Lake and along with Blair Hardy and Jabin Allstein. They're guilty of identity thefts and frauds, financial thefts and frauds. Blair Hardy is alleged Bandito's MC leader. William Wooldridge is alleged Hells Angels MC leader, Ontario chapter. He's a pedophile, sex offender, rat, goof, informant. Obviously, identity thief. So, Ontario Provincial Police and everybody named, you are now officially guilty of murder, premeditated, with intent to commit for revenge, retaliation. You are guilty of murder in the first degree against my mother through William Wooldridge. You are guilty of murder against me, attempted murder, sex assaults, kidnapping, false arrest, identity thefts, deforming, lies, time buying, cover ups. You are guilty of attempted murder. You're guilty of murdering an entire bloodline for your revenge, retaliation. Spencer Mills, 14716. Staff Sergeants, Chief or ex-Chief Shannon CORK, Robert Lucas, Robert KANE. So after 3 years, you conveniently done this. You turned me into somebody that looks like a fucking sex offender. Excuse my language, it looks like a sex offender that is a wanted inmate who is highly psychotic and highly delusional. So thank you very much for this, all being done to me through remote narrow monitoring. They are highly friggin' psychotic, and nobody in this town is arrestable conveniently because who they work with and for. That is Blair Hardy. Whoops. Okay. That is Blair Hardy. He is alleged Bandito MC leader. He is a serial killer. He is guilty for drug overdoses happening in this town as well, done with intent. There is Tyler Lake. He is either Hells Angels or Bandito. He's guilty of attempted murder, and he is a human trafficker and a drug trafficker with his mother, Shelley Barchet. This guy here, his name is Bert Hustler. He is a human trafficker, he is a drug trafficker, and he is also guilty of using R&M on me, and he's guilty of attempted murder. Along with Maggie Falls, who also conveniently is an undercover drug cop and a drug trafficker and works with him for Robert Lucas. Might be kind of hard to see, but that is Javen Allstein. He is most likely hiding out at a guy named Ray Ray's here with a guy on East Street with a white pit bull and a roommate named Sam. That's where they're all hiding out, hanging out while they're using R&M on me. And Blair Hardy, he is also around as well. I seen him this morning as I was coming back from the store, walking up John Street, crossing the road, going towards the drugstore here downtown. Probably going for methadone or out stalking, or maybe go into the woman's house that lives above the bakery or the wine store where you hang out, so it's closer for you to be having the R&M on me to broadcast through me a lot more. Here's another picture of Javen Allstein. He is highly psychotic, and he is guilty of murders, multiple murders, and all these people are untouchable. This is a little about me. This is what I am about. I am wood, wood cross, wood blood crown, living sun body. I am very spiritual. Couple few pictures I really like. This is a picture of me before my identity theft and changes. I am completely and totally numb in my head, and I have no stimulation whatsoever, so it feels like I'm getting filled up with air. And as I'm doing this, there's changes happening to me. The whole right side of my face is completely gone. I have no feeling there whatsoever. None. The damages, the veins, the blood vessels, and everything else. Over the course of 3 years, I would go to the hospital. I would tell them what's going on, and they would think that I was just there with a headache or there for drugs. I do not do drugs. I am against them. I've lost too many friends and family, and I myself have overdosed from them at one time. I have not done them since 2012. I want nothing to do with them. But that lie was cast against me, and it was believed because who it was cast by. And they need to actually prove that accusation lies against me, stating I'm self-harmer and I'm suicidal, so I would not be believed or taken serious about what's taken place with me with the mutilations and everything else. That's another lie that needs to be proven, cast, I believe, by STACEY and by Spencer Mills and other O.P.P to help buy time to not get me taken serious about what has taken place with me. I'm just hanging out with my dog. This here is my dog Run. He is 12 years old. And this poor puppy dog has been through a lot. I love him more than what he knows. I am 50 years old and I am a revenge retaliation victim of O.P.P. and their drug-fed, money-paid co-offenders. So, my head's been completely deformed. It's been completely flattened. That spot on the back of my head, that is where I get nothing but electricity from. Everything goes there, and then my head expands. I start getting broadcasted through, and electricity going through me. So I've had serious changes to my face. I'm being broadcasted through by Tyler Lake right now. This is how O.P.P and bloodlines by doing this to me, by buying time and using drug-fed co-offenders, drug-fed money-paid co-offenders. They will not touch and hide while they're doing this. I am not going to take a fall for William Wooldridge, O.P.P, and doctors, and I'm not taking a fall for Blair Hardy or Tyler Lake or Javen Allstein or any other of the sons of bitches that are involved with this. Anybody thinks that identity thefts can't happen, I can prove that it does, and it's being done through remote neuromonitoring. And all they need once the implant is in somebody is Wi-Fi, cell phone, and computer hooked up. They basically can control a person once they screw their nervous system, and I have proven it. This is how murders are happening. This is how O.P.P are murdering. This is how they're human trafficking. And this is how they are framing illegally, plus using the remote neuromonitoring, Clearview AI, and other tech that they have and are using, and not many are aware of or will actually take the opportunity to check out. Right now, all right in here, this is all Javen Allstein. My full right side is completely gone, and I cannot go to the hospital because they're co-offenders in it. Last time I went, Terry Triage tried to attempt to lock me in a room, and I had a Dr. Fardell come in, and she checked my neck, said I was fine, and left. The time after that, I went up there, I registered, was told to wait for triage, which I did. I went and sat down, and next thing you know, Paladin security guard came out, a guy about 23 to 25 years old, roughly 400 to 500 pounds, and told me basically to get the F out of there, that nobody was going to see me. That day, it caused me serious harm to my kidneys and my lung. They have not been the same since. So I have suffered serious lung damage. I've suffered serious kidney damage. This is what happens to people when you speak of police crimes in NAPANEE. You not only get your identity changed, but you lose your entire bloodline. And I am going to be framed as one of these pieces of garbage, and I will not be taken wrong. This here is not my image. It is me. It is Chris, but it is not my image. So this is done, and I can very well 100% prove my words. You did it, O.P.P. You did it, doctors. You did it for revenge retaliation with your co-offenders, with your money-paid, drug-fed co-offenders at that. You're untouchables. O.P.P will surround you with hands-on gun real quick to prevent anything illegal on them or anybody else that's involved with crimes with them. I have it on video. I can prove it. The kidnappings 24 hours after asking for help against them to prevent anything legal on them again in hopes of shutting them up. So I am going to wrap this up. I just want to say in return to the ones named, you are guilty of many murders, and Lennox and Addington Hospital may be guilty of covering up and co-committing many crimes with O.P.P and their Hells Angels and Bandito boss and co-offenders that they're involved with. This is how the murdered and missing are happening. Some of it, this is how they're human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, and framing victims and murdering. So beware. I am Chris Wood, and I am an identity theft victim, and everybody named, you will pay legally one way or another. My medical rights, my human rights, my legal rights, and everything else taken from me for you to get away with this while you're harboring and refusing arrest against people. So identity theft is illegal. Human trafficking, sex offenses, and murders are all legal right here in NAPANEE, Ontario. When you work with them for O.P.P, and I can prove it, you'll even have a justice of the peace to back you up and make accusations for victims. I am going to wrap this up. I'm gonna get offline here and go grab something to eat, but I just wanted to come on and say hello to everybody, and for anybody that sees this, I hope it is taken serious.